This recording is for if you were absent or if you weren't here yesterday. You need to kind of see how we started off everything. I know there were several people that were absent Friday, and on Friday we did the first half of all this stuff. So if you weren't here, you can cross out this piece of the worksheet because the tiles were already there. It was x squared, which is here. Then there was 6 x's, and that's where they got the 6x from. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just show you how to set it up, okay? We have to make sure A equals 1. And then we want to make sure that the AX and the BX are on the same side, so then we can fill in this blank. The question of the hour is, how do you fill in this blank? So if you're daydreaming, stop daydreaming right now because you need to learn how to fill in this blank. Yes, if you already did it, you ain't got to listen to me. All right, so what you need to do is, I found out if I make people circle the B, then they know, oh, that's the B. So you take the B and you take your calculator, because some people, they still don't know how to do it when I say it 15 times. You take the B, divide it by 2. And then whatever number you get, you take that number, you put it in parentheses to the power of 2. Oop, parentheses power of 2. That equals 9. That's how I know I have to add 9 here and add 9 here. That's what we did on Friday. The other step we did Friday was we learned how to put this in the parentheses form, in the factored form really quickly. Only because it's a perfect square trinomial, we can take it and put it in the factor form really quickly. And it's always going to be either x plus something or x minus something. And the number to fill in right there is half of the b. So in this case, if our b is positive, we know half of the b is going to be a positive. Half of 6 is 3. And then 4 plus 9 is 13. That's where we stop. You have to be able to do this first part before you can do the other part. So let's look at this. Now this one right here, remember I'm kind of ignoring this over here. Circle the B. First step is circle the B. Circle the B. I need to use that B divided by 2. That's the rule. Why do you divide it by 2? Because that's the formula. That's the rule. And whatever number you get, you take that number, put it in parentheses to the power of 2. And that tells you how to make your perfect square trinomial. I put 25 on both sides because whatever number that you get here, you have to add it to both sides to make sure you balance the equation out. Now we also have to remember how to get this perfect square trinomial into its factored form really quickly. Into the factor form really quickly, remember it's going to be x plus something or x minus something. And once again, we take the b, don't look at that anymore, you just take half of the b to put it in there. And if the b is negative, then you're going to have a minus or a subtraction sign in there. Then if we add this up, negative 16 plus 25, I believe it's 9. And we just double check. Yes, and we get 9. Those were the first steps. You have to know how to do that before you can, the rest of it is just square root method. So, on number 3, there's a problem. Because remember the rule? The A must equal what? First rule, if the A doesn't equal 1, that means you just go through dividing by whatever the A is. If the A is 2, divide by 2. There's another one that the A is 3, so we divide everything by 3. So in this case, we divide everything by 2. So then we'll end up with x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Then the other rule is that the ax squared and the bx have to be on the same side, because then I make room so I can create my perfect square trinomial. If you look at this one, we got x squared and 6x on the same side, but there's also a 5. You have to get rid of it. And since it's a positive 5, how do you get rid of it? By solving it, moving it to the other side. Solving is about doing the opposite. So what I have is x squared plus 6x plus blank. Leave it blank, because that's where your perfect square trinomial is going to be created. 0 and a negative 5. Whatever I add to one side, I have to add to the other. Now this is exactly what we did on problem 2 and problem 1. So once again, I need to circle the B. Now that A equals 1 and I have A and B together, circle the B. Then over here on the side, I'm going to take my B divided by what? Divided by 2. That's where I get a 3 from. And then I take that 3, put it in parentheses to the second power. And then that tells me to add 9 to both sides. So now I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it right here because I'm running out of room. So remember, this is my perfect square trinomial, and I need to get it in its parentheses form really quickly, so then I can just put what it equals. And negative 5 plus 9 is 4. And then to get this in my parentheses quickly, remember what to use. You should have written it here. It's always cut the B in half. If the B is positive, when you cut it in half, it'll still be positive. Then from here, it's the square root method. All right. Number 4. Is the A musty? Is the A equal to 1 already? Yes, the A is musty. It's already must be a 1. And then we want to make sure that the x squared and the B, or just the x, is on the same side all by itself. There should be nothing else except for x squared and x. And then over here could be whatever. So it looks like everything's good. So we just have to rewrite it because this is not a perfect square. So we're going to make a perfect square. How do you make a perfect square, you say? Well, I did it 3 other times and you sleep. That's why you still don't know how to make a perfect square, okay? So we're going to circle the B, and then I'm going to take that B and divide that B by 2. Okay? Divide it by 2. Then let's use the calculator because some people don't know how to divide. Don't let not knowing how to divide stop you. It's a negative 2. Now, if you just put negative 2 squared, you're going to get a negative 4. No. That's, see, you didn't put it in parentheses. It's a 4 that needs to get added to both sides. All right, so now that we have our perfect square trinomial, we want to pack it up into a parentheses. We want to fold it up real nicely and put it in the parentheses. How do you fold it up real nicely? You just will keep your x as always x plus something or x minus something. Cut the B in half. Cut the B in half. If it's a negative 4x here or subtract 4x, you know this is going to be a subtract half of it. And 16 plus 4 is, hold on, I'm trying to do my recording. I want to make it look professional. So now, excuse me. Yes. Okay. So now we're at the square root method part. Now, this is the square root method. I'm going to show y'all. We did this in the notes. You should already know how to use square root method. That's why I'm stopping right here. You should not stop right here. You should not stop right here. Because we did notes on this already. I'm going to show y'all. Because some people think I'm crazy. Look, we did notes on square root method already. We did the notes on how to use square root method. And we did the notes on how to making a perfect square trinomial. So we've already done this. So now you're at this step to where you must, this is like our Kevin Gates method. Take the square root. Why, excuse me, this is a question for everybody. Why are people trying to put this in their calculator? They just don't listen. Why do we take the square root? It's because we want to unlock the 2. So what's left is x plus 3. And listen, then they don't put this in their calculator. And they're getting, a 4. Square root of 4 does not equal a 4. I'm going to knock somebody out. I'm sorry, this is not professional recording. This should be a plus or minus. What's the square root of 4? If you don't know, your calculator can help you. Remember, your calculator ain't that helpful, though. It's only as smart as its user. You have to know that it's not only a positive 2, it's a negative 2. Now, ask Kevin Gates, what's up? I got 2 problems, one for the plus and one for the minus, right? I got 2 problems, one for the plus and one for the minus. The factor does not change. All right? When you're done, don't turn it in because I need to check it and make sure you don't have many errors. Then you can just solve this. This should be the easy solving step right here. X equals -1 and x equals -5. I'm going to show you one more time. Okay? Starting right here, we take the square root of both sides. This you cannot put in your calculator. The reason why we square root it is to unlock the 2. So what we're left with is x minus 2 equals the square root of 20. We need to figure out what the square root of 20 is. I'm encouraging my students to use decimals so they don't get confused. Square root of 20 is, remember, square rooting is not cutting it in half. Square rooting, and we get a plus or minus 4.47. We don't need to bring up the 7 because it's 4 or less. Save that mess, okay? So now I'm gonna have to write it down here. Now, who are we gonna ask? Are we gonna ask Kanye West? No. Are we gonna ask Michael Jackson? No. We gonna ask Kevin Gates. What do you do? I got 2 problems, one for the plus and one for the minus. Does the factor change? No. The factor doesn't change. One is positive, one is negative. And then we just solve it. If you don't know how to solve it, I'm doing this solving part fast because maybe the other one. Yeah. I'm just doing this one real quick because that's it. So those are my 2 solutions. I am going to show you guys how to check it in this video for checking purposes. Okay. So I want to check my answers. I'm going to check the answers for number 3 first. So when I check it, I'm going to go back to the original problem before I solved anything, before I changed anything. I'm going to put 2x, in the y1, I'm going to put the left side of the equation, 2x squared plus 12x plus 10. Then on the other side, I'm just going to put 0 because that's my other side of my equation, the right side. Press second graph. I'm going to go to -1. If I see the same number here and here, that means, yes, I did it right. Then if I go to -5 here and here, that means I did it right. So that means that one's right. Let's check this one. If I want to check it, I'm going to go, this is the left side, x squared minus 4x. And then I'm going to put 16 over here. So when I press second graph, no, remember, this calculator only gives you whole numbers. Remember how to jump to any number you want? Press second window. You can jump to 6.47, and let's see if we get pretty close. Is 15.98 close to 16? Yes. Yes, that's very close. That's how I know, hey, I must did something right. I might be a couple pennies off. But 15.98 is very close to 16, so I know this must be correct. But what happened was I just rounded off a little bit, so that's why it's off. Press second window again. Jump to the -2.47. And then, yep, same thing again. So that means those 2 are right also, okay? That's going to be the end of the video. I'm going to walk around and make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing.